Hey guys, welcome to WhiskyWise with me, Jason, bringing you whiskey review number 7, where we're going to be reviewing the GlenDronach 12-year-old. Now, I have been away for a little while, have not been too well, but now I'm back and we're going to review the whole GlenDronach range in one go. Not just in this video, I have got pretty much a miniature of every single GlenDronach except for the single cask edition. So I'll show you quickly this little set. I actually got it from a whiskey shop in London. It does contain the GlenDronach 12, which is just over here. It's got the 15 Revival. I hope that's a 15. Yep, the 15 Revival, which I've only got such a tiny little bit of that. And then you've got also the 18, which is the Allardyce. So in this video, we're going to be reviewing the 12, which I'll quickly just pop out. And you can see a few others, which are just behind. Now here we've got the Helion, which I picked up in a different whiskey shop from the one I bought the set from. Helion, which is the 8-year-old. The 21, which is the Parliament. And also the peated edition. So it's going to be quite an interesting review. I'm actually really excited because I've tried all of these so far. Had little sips of the Helion and the peated, but really interesting whiskies. So we'll leave those till another review, but 12-year-old for this video. I'm just going to quickly show you the bottle over there. Can the autofocus work today? I think it did. So yeah, the 12-year-old is bottled at 43% ABV. To follow the structure of how I review the whiskies, I'll go through a little bit of my way of doing it. It's 12-year-old whiskey. Bottled at 43% ABV. I believe it's non-chill filtered, and also the casks they do use, and you'll actually see this on the bigger bottle, is a Pedro Jimenez sherry cask and also sherry. So two very rich, nice sherry casks involved. This distillery is the GlenDronach distillery, and the parent company is now, it's been acquired, I believe in the last 2 months or 2 or 3 months, it's been acquired by the Brown-Forman Corporation. So the people that own Jack Daniels, they purchased the GlenDronach, Glengossa, I believe it's called, and BenRiach. They purchased all 3 distilleries and some really good whiskies, definitely from GlenDronach and BenRiach. And I haven't tried Glengossa yet, so I'm looking forward to that. So anyway, this one is going to be the 12-year-old. The region, I don't know if I mentioned it already, is the Highlands. And in terms of the price, I paid, well, not specifically this one, but the price for the full bottle is around about £35, around about 40, I think it was 42 euros when I was in Cologne. And in the United States, it should be around about $45. So it just depends on where you are. Really fantastic whiskey, this one. And I'm not going to spoil it any further. I'm going to get into the review so you know exactly the tasting notes. In terms of is it exclusive, it's not exclusive. You will find this almost everywhere. There should be a specialist whiskey store. They should have the GlenDronach range. Very popular. And if you ever find the 15, which is discontinued, the Revival, be sure to keep an eye out for that one. If you see a full bottle and it is legitimate, probably pick that one up. But we'll save that for the next review. In terms of colouring, I have been told that all the GlenDronachs are natural colour. So beautiful stuff on that side. Now let's get straight into the review, as I've been away for a little while, so I'm going to be a little bit rusty in this review. But should we just pour the whole, pour a little, leave a little bit of a layer. So there we have it. In terms of assessing the nose of the whiskey, let's first assess the colour of the whiskey. In terms of the colour, the way I'd sort of say it looks is more like a burnt copper. Yeah, coppery gold actually. It's quite a little bit darker. It's got a bit more of a darker hue compared to the other whiskies I've reviewed so far. Oh, the legs on this whiskey are incredible. And one thing I like is actually with the Glencairn glass, if I actually just leave it, it'll roll on my desk. And so if you pour just enough, you'll see it gives you that perfect legs on the whiskey. So it does have quite a nice body to it and a bit of nice richness. Beautiful stuff. Anyway, without further ado, let me get into the review. So in terms of on the nose, wow, incredible. This whiskey's already opened up, not even barely a few minutes, and you're getting this very nice, rich fruitiness, the dry fruits, the very nice sherry notes. Notes I'm getting on this one are more or less rum-soaked raisins. I think also figs I was picking up ever so slightly. Yeah, a lot of those nice, rich, dry fruits, but they're stewing in their juices, and that's why I said rum-soaked raisins. Along also the lines of brown sugar, sort of like it's like caramelizing all together, and also a little bit of caramel there as well. Gooey caramel. That's the way I'd like to describe it. Wow, that's a beautiful. I think you also get a hint of vanilla there. It's like a vanilla essence. It's like when you're making a cake and you're pouring a little bit of the vanilla essence. It's like that sort of liquidy sort of start. Really interesting, that one. I like that nose. Wow, I'm really enjoying this one. Alright, so let's move on to the next part, which is assessing the palate. So we're going to go with the first sip. Wow, okay, that's quite interesting. Initially, we're starting off with those dry fruits. They're evident ever so much in the palate. As soon as you get it on the palate, it works its way into your sort of your taste buds. The rum-soaked raisins, the sultanas, figs, prunes, dates, they're all there. They're all making themselves very well known. And then, as that sort of fades ever so slightly, it sort of pops up again, and it's like a sweet spice. So, almost like toffee or treacle. Yeah, toffee. I'm trying to imagine treacle, you know, when you're spreading. So, nice toffee note, a bit of sweeter note, but then you're getting that spice, and it's like a mouth-warming spice, like a bit of nutmeg, a little bit of cinnamon. Let me do a second sip. Let me just assess it a bit further. Wow, it's got a bit of complexity on this one. So yeah, the fruits are there. The spice does play, but it's not all over the palate. It's actually straight in the middle, around about the back. It's nutmeg. I say a little bit of cinnamon. It's not super powerful. I think the nutmeg's more playing its role there. And that sweetness over there, it's beautiful. It's just the way the fruitiness and sweetness work together is incredible. Really, really enjoying this whiskey. So I think I've just got enough left to assess the finish, and then we'll move on to ending the review. So on to the finish. So on the finish for this one, the succulent, rich, dried, rum-soaked dried fruits stewing in their own goodness, but definitely it's very rich and fruity, a bit mouth-watering as well, which I really enjoy. But then as it sort of fades away, the finish on it is not very long. I feel like it's a medium finish on it. In terms of the body, actually I forgot to mention the body of the whiskey. The body starts out like a medium body, a little bit light medium, but then as you leave it a bit on the palate, it develops a little bit more, and it moves into that sort of very consistent medium, almost pushing to medium full body, but not really getting there. So in terms of finish again, the lingering, it's like a medium body finish, or medium finish onto it. It doesn't really stay for very long. And as it sort of resides, you're more or less getting a little bit of an oakiness. So you're getting that really woody fruitiness that sort of works its way on the end, with a little sweetness over there. But it gives you a nice mouth-warming feel. So that's one thing I'm really enjoyed with this whiskey. In terms of overall comments on the whiskey, would I suggest this to someone? Even if you're a beginner and you're liking those sherried whiskies, for the price point of view, I think it's fantastic value for money at £35 for the full bottle. It does offer a complexity, so if you're going to like that, a bit of spice, a bit of fruitiness, this is it. This is something that I think you will enjoy. So in terms of overall rating, I got all my cards on the floor, makeshift cards. I'm going to give it, let's see, there, put that behind. I'm going to give it an 88 because I think it's fantastic value for money for the complexity the whiskey offers. It's truly outstanding, and I think this is definitely something I would go back to. And I actually got to make a video on my different ratings and how I rate my whiskies. So 88 out of 100, definitely recommend this whiskey. Try out the GlenDronach 12, really super value for money. And try this one out if you're getting started with the range. I think it's a really good one. I'm actually going to go and do the 15 next, and then we'll follow up by a couple others until we've finished all the GlenDronachs. But this has been WhiskyWise. I hope you have enjoyed the review. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter. I've actually lost my phone right now, but it's at JasonWhiskyWise. or just search WhiskyWise and you should be able to find me on there, and then you can tweet me, and you'll probably be able to see some of the really cool tastings I do when I go around London. So anyway, hope you have enjoyed the video. By all means, feel free to subscribe, and I'll catch you all for the next video.